if the sound is working. I got to test it out and make sure it's working real quick. Let's go to the J All Day show, see if I can hear myself. The volume's been not working great. Can I hear myself? There we go. It's working now. All right, sweet, guys. All right, here we go, everyone. Welcome back to the J All Day Sports Show. We're here previewing these final 4 games in the NFL Divisional round, guys. I'm going to talk about some of my bets. I'm going to talk about some of my picks, my general thoughts about these games. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. We got 4 games left to decide who has a chance to play to go to the Super Bowl. I'm very, very excited about this weekend's slew of games, guys. Very, very exciting time for these games. We got some conference championship games coming up in the following week. We got the divisional round here for the playoffs. Welcome to the live stream. If you got any questions about this week's games, let me know in the comments below. My favorite game of the week's probably got to be that Baltimore Ravens game. That Ravens game is going to be so lit. I am absolutely incredibly stoked to watch the Buffalo Bills at home taking on the Ravens. The Ravens blew them out earlier in the year. It was like week 3 or 4 or something like that. So we'll have to see how this game plays out. Derrick Henry absolutely balled out, guys, in that first meeting. So the Buffalo Bills, they got their linebackers back, but they have a lot of work to do. Straight up, a lot of work to do if they want to win this game versus the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is playing at such a high level right now. It's really, really impressive stuff, guys. Very, very impressive. I mean, I love Steve Spagnuolo, man. I mean, he has proven time and time again that he is one of the most reliable defensive coordinators in the NFL, right? So, can they slow down this Houston Texans offense, right? Probably. The Texans haven't played good on the road at all. They're barely over a 500 team on the road. It's a big ask. 25-degree weather. The Texans are used to playing in that dome. ESPN has them as 62% favorite. It's going to be 25 degrees. Yeah, I just saw in the injury report that Joe Mixon is now questionable for this game. That's not great. I mean, there's nothing I would want to see more than the Buffalo Bills win this game over the Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They're lucky they got the home crowd on their hand, but it's going to be a tough game, man. Vegas pretty much has it as a pick-em game. The Baltimore Ravens really, really dominated them earlier in the year. I think Derrick Henry had like 199 yards rushing or something like that. It was really, really, really impressive. So, the Buffalo Bills got to be able to stop the run. They got to force Lamar Jackson to throw the ball, right? Straight up. They just got to force him into bad throws. It looks like Zay Flowers is probably not going to play in this game, guys. So that's good for the Buffalo Bills and their fans, right? I'm expecting Mark Andrews to be heavily involved in this game for the Baltimore Ravens. So if I had a... Man, I was leaning towards Buffalo a lot this week. But when I was looking at the tape from that first game, they really, really dominated at the point of attack. The rushing game was just so impressive from the Baltimore Ravens. They dominated that game. Straight up. From pillar to post, 35-10. Huge win over the Buffalo Bills. Lamar Jackson had 2 touchdown passes. Derrick Henry, 24 carries for 199 yards. Yeah, Isaiah Likely, Steve, 100%. Is going to be heavily involved in the game plan. If we look at the box score from the first game, Lamar Jackson only completed 13 passes because even Justice Hill with 4 carries for 18 yards, 4.5 yards a clip. I mean, Lamar Jackson added another 6 for 54 over 9 yards a carry. So they really had a hard time limiting this rushing attack. Justice Hill also had 6 catches. In this first game, 9 catches to running backs. So the Buffalo Bills need to slow down these running backs if they want to have a chance at this game. It was 21-3 at halftime. The Buffalo Bills had a hard time scoring points on a Ravens defense at that time. Wasn't super good. So the Buffalo Bills have an uphill battle, in my opinion. My initial thoughts were the Buffalo Bills, but as we get closer to game time, I think I'm leaning towards the Baltimore Ravens to upset the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're not really upsetting them because the Bills are actually getting 1 point. Yeah, Steve, I agree with you 100%, man. I think it's going to really come down to their ability to force Lamar Jackson to throw the football. If I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm stacking the box from the jump and forcing Lamar Jackson to throw the football in the cold weather. I'm putting 7, 8 guys in the box, and if they run over the 7 or 8 guys I have in the box, then you deserve to lose, straight up. They got to be able to stop the run. The Baltimore Ravens averaged over 8 yards a carry in that first meeting, guys. And then we had another game, the Rams and the Eagles, where they faced off earlier in the year. And the Eagles dominated, man. My dad just turned 71, Zach. Yeah, he actually flew back to Philly on Tuesday. So he's back in Philly right now, getting ready for this Birds game. So it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles are on at noon on the West Coast. What's that? 1, 2, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, man. Yeah, I hope that they do stop the running game, man. That would be very, 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 very awesome. I want to see Josh Allen make it to a Super Bowl, and I'm actually secretly hoping the Texans beat the Chiefs. I don't really see it happening, but we'll see. But yeah, in Week 12, the Rams played the Eagles in LA, and the Eagles put up a 37-burger, guys. Absolutely dominated. From pillar to post, man. Actually, the Rams were up 7-3 at the end of the first quarter, and then the Eagles just dominated the rest of the way through. Put up 10, 14, 10 in the last 3 quarters. Jalen Hurts went 15 of 22 for 179. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. Woo, baby. And then A.J. Brown, 8-2, 6 for 109 and a tutty. They got to get A.J. Brown going if they want to win this game. And for the Rams, I was looking at a stat. WIP, that's like a local radio in Philadelphia. They just put out this tweet saying that Matt Stafford, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, let's see if I can find this tweet. Where they tweeted out that Matt Stafford's like 1-8 when in cold weather with rain or snow. So it's not looking great for Matt Stafford in this spot. It's supposed to be freezing cold, raining, snowing, nasty weather in Philly. It's going to be freezing cold, going to be nasty, nasty weather. I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles in the spot. Not just because I'm an Eagles fan, guys, but because Matt Stafford's been awful, straight up awful, on the road, in the cold weather over the course of his career. They got dominated at home in really good conditions. If you can't beat the Philadelphia Eagles in SoFi Stadium in great conditions, you only scored 20 points at home with the home crowd in great conditions. I mean, I just call it like I see it, guys. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but if I didn't think they were going to win, I'd straight up tell you, man. Yeah, Washington would be and Philly would be a great. I just can't see. We'll move on to that game next. Washington at Detroit. So the Washington Commanders, guys, have the third worst rush defense in the entire NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery is back for the Detroit Lions. I just think this Commanders team, guys, absolutely has their hands full in this spot versus the Detroit Lions. The Lions are 7-2 at home this year. Pretty dominant. ESPN has them as 73% chance of winning this game. Jaden Daniels is going to have to absolutely ball out. And, quietly, this Detroit Lions defense has been very, very good. They brought in Cedarius Smith from the Cleveland Browns, who's filled in nicely at the DN spot. DJ Reader has had a good year. Terrion Arnold's had up and downs, the rookie. But, man, Kirby Joseph has been unbelievable. Brian Branch has been playing really good. This Lions defense, I know they got a shit ton of guys on IR, but, man, they're playing pretty good ball, and they really shut down the Vikings. It's hard to tell, is it the Vikings just being bad, or is the Lions defense for real? Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that the Lions are the team to beat. I said in the beginning of the year, guys, I thought it was going to be the Lions versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. But I do think that if the Eagles have to go to Detroit and play the Lions, it's going to be tough. Their defense is playing really good, and that offense is just this zone defense that the Eagles like to run where they don't put a lot of pressure. If you give Jared Goff time, he's going to carve you up. And Nakobe Dean being hurt is a huge loss for the Philadelphia Eagles. I appreciate you guys tuning in to the live stream. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Jay All Day Sports Show, guys. But they've been performing pretty good, Steve. I know that they got a ton of guys on IR. But if you look over the last 6 to 8 weeks, they've been performing very well despite the injuries, right? So, and from what I've seen from Jalen Hurts, I don't know if he has the ability to keep up with Jared Goff offensively unless Saquon Barkley goes for 200. You know what I mean? Rams plus 10, Bills plus 6, Lions money line, Kansas City money line. Philadelphia, Washington over the points. That's not a bad parlay, man. Here, I'll go over some of my bets with you guys real quick. I made some bets today. So, my pick so far, I'm going with Baltimore over Buffalo, Philly over the Rams, Lions. I think they dominate the Commanders. I really do. And I think it's an uphill battle. Houston's defense has actually been playing really, really well. If they come in and put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, that game could be really close. I'm going to go with the Chiefs because they are undefeated at home. The Bills are undefeated at home too. So, we'll see if these two undefeated teams can keep it going in the playoffs. Only one road team won last week, so. Yeah, we'll have to see what Jared Goff shows up, man. But I think it's an uphill battle for anybody to beat the Lions in Detroit. But we'll see what happens, man. So I'm going to go over some of my bets real quick with you guys. Log into my little sports book over here. Yeah, I'm putting a lot of bets on this week, guys. A lot of bets. All right, I'm mixing up some parlays, with UFC 311 this week. So I got Islam Makhachev to win and the Lions and the Chiefs to win in a little parlay. I got the Eagles, Islam Makhachev, and Peyton Talbot to win in another parlay. And then I got a Renato Moicano who's fighting Beneil Dariush, who's been knocked out the last 2 weeks. And that's one of my biggest bets of the week with an Eagles win parlay. That's one of my biggest bets of the week, guys. I got Lamar Jackson over 1.5 touchdowns. I think that's a great prop, guys. If you're into betting props, Lamar Jackson over 1.5 is great. And then I got a little teaser. I got the Ravens getting plus 12, Rams getting 19, Lions getting 4, and the Chiefs getting 5. Check out some of these comments real quick before I keep going. What do you mean you got a heads up that the QB or running back from the Eagles might get pulled out due to injury? That's kind of vague, man. Yeah, I don't like any of these overs, man. I told you guys last week in the betting show that the overs were too high. And we cashed. There was no games over 50 points last week. But how do you know that? How do you know that? And who's hurt? Is it Jalen Hurts hurt or is it Saquon Barkley, man? Yeah, I don't like overs in playoff games, man. I think that 55 total for the Commanders game is ridiculous. The Lions just held the Vikings offense to 9 points. I think 55.5 is an insane number. I would take the under in that. I think the Bills, I like the under 51 for the Bills game too. Straight up. What other bets? I got Patrick Mahomes over 23 rushing yards too. I think that's a good prop, guys. I think that Texans defense is really aggressive, and I think they're going to, break contain sometimes, and I think Mahomes is going to scramble for some first downs in this spot. And I got Kenny Gainwell over 9.5 yards too. I like that spot. And then I got a Bills-Lions parlay. The Bills-Ravens under 52.5. I bought 1.5. And then the Lions to win. I like that bet too. I like the unders, man. The Ravens and Bills are going to come out wanting to run the ball, and that clock is going to be churning and churning and churning. 49 is 7 touchdowns, guys. It's a lot of touchdowns. It's going to be cold. Probably some field goals in this spot. The Ravens have a really, really good red zone defense. I like the under. I like the under as just a straight up bet too. And then I got a Chiefs, Lions, Commanders, Lions. So this parlay is Commanders, Lions game under 56.5. And then the Lions and the Chiefs. That's coming in at plus money, guys. I love that bet. And I got a little teaser. Chiefs +3, Lions +2, Bills getting 12, and the Rams getting 17. I think we're going to get some closer games this week, guys. And then I took the Texans and getting +9.5. I do, but not 56 points, man. So if you look at all the playoff games, no games even sniffed 50 points. So they're going to score 57. That's 8 touchdowns, man. 8 touchdowns in the game. That is a shit ton of touchdowns. That's 2 touchdowns every single quarter for the whole, you know what I mean? It's a lot of points, man. And I think the Detroit Lions defense is going to play better than you think. Playing on the road is really, really tough in the playoffs, man. And there's a big difference between the Detroit Lions fans in a dome, noise-wise, than the Buccaneers fans, man. It's 2 different worlds. It's going to be so loud in Detroit. I think Jaden Daniels is going to struggle with communication a little bit. Yeah, Steve, the over-under, I think, was at like 115. So I didn't love that bet, guys. So I didn't love the over-under at 15. Yeah, I don't know. Derrick Henry rushed for almost 200 yards in the last game, man. So, they're going to be feeding Derrick Henry, especially with Zay Flowers being out, guys. I don't love that. I wouldn't. Derrick Henry's been on beast mode, man. Straight beast mode lately. I wouldn't be running to say that Derrick Henry's going to get shut down in this spot. If they do shut down Derrick Henry, if Derrick Henry goes for under 100 yards, the Bills will win this game. I don't know if that happens. Yeah, Travis Kelce does play well in the playoffs, but he's just getting older, man. His breaks are a little bit slower coming out of his routes and stuff. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the game plan for Patrick Mahomes. Are they going to want to feed Pacheco and then play action off Pacheco? Because this offensive line for the Chiefs they've had trouble protecting Patrick Mahomes all year long, guys. Yeah, I mean, 35 is, old in football years, man. The dude's been playing football for 20 years probably. So, yeah, we'll have to see, man. There's a lot of interesting games this week, guys. I think that's all my bets that I have so far. But yeah, I'm really excited for these games. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch these games. A lot of fun. I'm really, really excited for these games. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think? What year did you made the video? What does that mean? Guys, let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to win these games? You got Houston or Kansas City, Washington or Detroit, the Rams or Philadelphia, or the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills? Yeah, I mean, the spreads were huge last week, Steve, and they all were the unders. Like, every single game hit the under. Every single one. So, they're wrong, too, a lot. I think 55 that's a big total, man. Big, big total. I think they said it's like the highest total for a playoff game since like 2018 or something. On this channel, like 2 years ago. Not even 2 years ago. Because I created this channel like 2 years ago, but then I didn't actually film anything for like months after that. So yeah, about 2 years I started this channel. But I started doing MMA first, and then I transitioned over to football. Yeah, I'm excited for Saquon Barkley this weekend. I think he balls out. The Rams offense, I don't know if they can keep up with this Eagles offense. Matt Stafford got sacked 5 times in that first game, guys, so they got a lot of work to do. Playing in the freezing cold. It is going to be cold in Philly and snowing. It's going to be around freezing 32 degrees, and the snow is supposed to start coming about an hour or two before kickoff. So we're going to get a real, true football game on Sunday, guys. I'm super excited for this game, guys. All right, guys. I wanted to do just like a quick little live stream with everyone, go over my thoughts on these games a little bit, talk about some of my bets. I'm going to go get dinner on the oven for the girls that are coming home soon. So I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later. Peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe.